Hey, what's up guys, it's Gotham here and welcome back to another video. Now today, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Gotham Knights and just what I think of it now that I've had time to, get used to all the trailers and everything like that, compose myself and think. And I mean, well, the hype isn't really going away. I'm actually really fucking hyped for this game. But I'm just going to be giving some of my opinions on the gameplay, the trailer, the story, and, Batman being dead. So starting off at number 1, Batman being dead. Well, F in the chat, boys. Now, I 100% know they're going to be bringing Batman back. I feel like they're doing the same thing of what Marvel's Avengers game are doing, about how they're playing the whole, oh, Captain America's dead. But we all know in, the Avengers game, Captain America isn't going to be dead. He's going to come back. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing for Batman. He is going to come back, And I just want to quickly say to those people who might not know, it has been officially confirmed that Gotham Knights is not in the Arkham universe. So obviously, we know at the end of Arkham Knight, Batman dies, Wayne Manor blows up and everything like that. It turns out this game is not in the Arkham universe. It is just the fact that in this universe, Batman is also dead. And it turns out that the building that blew up and supposedly killed him, it was not Wayne Manor, it was just a building in general. We're not completely sure. But I kind of have a theory, along with a few other members of the community have their theories that maybe the Court of Owls, blew that building up and, tried to kill Batman. Maybe they've kidnapped Batman and tried to brainwash him. That could be what it's like in Gotham Knights. I'm kind of hoping it is that way because, especially from the amount of disappointment and backlash the fans have been giving out at the fact that Batman is not going to be in the game as far as we're aware of. I feel like that's probably a very good way to kind of make everybody happy. Like, I don't really care, to be honest. I've got Red Hood. I've got Red Hood. Well, obviously, I care a little bit. I would be able to explore this brand new, massive Gotham as Batman as well, hopefully in the Batmobile. That isn't a living, breathing tank. Just the Batmobile, just a form of transportation, please. Moving on to Gotham, we have a full-on living, breathing city. We have, like in the little bits of gameplay that we saw, there are civilians running around, there's civilians in cars, crashing everywhere, which is something I'm actually happy with, and the size of Gotham as well. If you saw it in the trailer, you had a little map come up, and Gotham looks massive. There's apparently going to be 5 different areas in the game, and each one of those areas looks massive anyway. Like, obviously, we only got a small little sneak peek of what the map is going to look like in the little trailer that we got, and it looks like that one of these 5 parts of the map is literally about the size of 2 of those islands in Arkham Knight or something. So Gotham is definitely a lot bigger. I'm so happy that it's a living, breathing city that you can go out and interact with, and they haven't just gone for a cheap cop out, in Arkham Origins, for example. Like, there are no civilians on the road because there was a storm and people had to stay in. Like, it was a very cheap cop out and that. But you know what, I'm glad that WB Montreal have finally put in as people. They put in civilians in the city. They finally made it a city that's actually worth saving. So obviously, now moving on to the characters and the customization elements and stuff like that, because apparently, supposedly, there are not going to be alternate costumes in the game, but more of a gear system, like we have seen in Injustice 2, for example, where you can customize for legs, torso, arms, head. Or at least that's what I've heard in that, or maybe I've got the wrong idea of what I've heard, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure. Take that with a grain of salt, but apparently we should be getting a gear-like system in the game. Which does kind of make sense, because when we saw the little bit of gameplay where we was with Robin and Batgirl, Robin's suit, it looks like the Red Robin costume. However, though, the Red Robin costume with the mask and everything like that, that's black. If mask is black and everything like that in the comics and stuff like that. Unlike in this gameplay trailer we saw, the majority of his suit, including the mask, was red. So maybe we are going to be able to have those alternate costumes in the game, but maybe as gear sets. And we're also going to be able to have shaders that we can customize as well. So yeah, I'm only thinking about Red Hood, and maybe he can get a gear piece for his torso that has a cape on it, and with that certain piece of gear he can actually glide around the map like Batman. And the reason why I say that is because there are 2 costumes that Red Hood has worn that actually has a cape on it, to where he can actually glide with it, be Batman essentially. One of those costumes was actually his Batman costume that he wore in the Battle for the Cow storyline, but he made some armored up lethal Batman suit, and it looked amazing. I want that suit in the game, and it would be so good to take advantage of this gear system system that is supposedly in the game to give like an epic or legendary piece, or what the highest like mythic gear or whatever, it would be so good to unlock that piece of gear where it's like, you know, the armored up kind of Batman chest that he has from like the battle for the cowl, and with that piece comes a cape. So instead of just having to go around on the bat cycle or grapple around and jump off buildings and that with Red Hood, you can just glide. Like, that would be amazing if you could unlock the whole like Red Hood Batman costume from the battle for the cowl. If you could just unlock that entire gear set in the game, that would just be amazing. And there's also another costume that Red Hood has worn with a cape on it. I don't know what it's called, but it will be up on the screen right now. I can't remember what this costume is called or what storyline it's from, so if you guys could tell me what it is, then, you know, by all means tell me, because it's a fucking sick costume and I would love to have that as a gear set as well in this new Gotham Knights game. And then, as I said, we saw with Robin, he has like, you know, regular kind of base starting out suit in the reveal trailer, and then when we saw the gameplay trailer, he had a kind of Red Robin type kind of customized suit, and it's obviously got different colors on it, so that's why I'm thinking there are also going to be shaders in the game as well. For example, with Batgirl, she is mainly rocking, you know, purple and gold on her costume, but there might be a few shaders in there to make it black and gold like it is in the Arkham games. I'm so happy that they have finally, like, you know, incorporated, you know, pure white eyes in like a kind of realistic setting, which is something I'm really happy about. But it seems like when with Batgirl's starting outfit, she just has a regular kind of, you know, mask over her eyes. She doesn't have white eyes with that costume on, but with, you know, the one that we saw in the gameplay trailer, she does have white eyes. So I am so looking forward to all the different bits of gear that we can get. As I said, I'm pretty sure it has been confirmed that we will be getting a gear-like system with different stats and different cosmetics as well to fully customize the Bat family members to the way you want them to look. Now, obviously, moving on to the Court of Owls, that just looks amazing. I'm looking forward to what the Talons are going to be like. I really hope they are kind of like the martial art experts from Arkham Origins. But, you know, there's a lot of countering, there's a lot of fluidity in the combat. It's very, you know, to the point where it looks like you're watching like a Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan film or something. Because obviously in Arkham Origins, there was a massive difference between how you would beat up the regular criminals to then how you would take on the martial art experts. And it's so satisfying just fighting the martial art experts on Arkham Origins. You just like, just the moves that you do, and it's all just so fluid and amazing. It looks like you are literally watching like a karate film or kung fu film or just martial arts kind of film. It looks sick. But either way, going all the way back to the Talons and that, I really hope that they play like that, I guess. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to what the Court of Owls have to bring to the game. But anyway, moving on to the combat and the way that the game is played, I guess, there are still a lot of elements from the Arkham games. For example, with silent takedowns, the way you grapple onto things. However, though, the hand-to-hand combat is quite different. There isn't like, you know, a combat, you know, combo or anything like that to build up special moves or anything. If you look in the bottom left corner, there's like, you know, meters, and obviously each one of those meters contains like a special move that you can do. So instead of like, you know, in the Arkham games where you build up a massive combo to the point where you are flying like 20 meters to the other enemy and you're just flying all around the map, yet like you're Superman or something, it seems like you still are going to be able to do like special moves, but there isn't going to be that massive combo that you used to be able to build up in the older Arkham games. This style of combat does remind me a lot of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which I loved. I absolutely loved that game. I loved the combat in that game. So obviously I still feel like we're going to be able to counter people. We're still going to be able to hopefully, you know, stun people and stuff like that. Like, by all means, yes, it's different, but there are still those similarities there. So I don't think it's going to be very hard for us Batman Arkham fans to kind of get into the combat, I guess. Now, obviously, when it comes to the leveling up system, your enemies will level up with you. So it's not like there's level 5 enemies and you can just go and do a bunch of side missions, get all the way to level 30, come back to those level 5 enemies and just beat the shit out of them. It seems like when you get to level 30, those enemies will also get to level 30, and if you're at level 1, those enemies will also be at level 1. But anyway, guys, that's going to have to be the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please let me know if you are hyped up for this game. Let me know which character you are most hyped up to play as. For me, obviously, obviously, my boy Red Hood, I am just playing with him as much as I can. Hopefully, Batman isn't dead. Hopefully, he does make a comeback so we can play as him in free roam and stuff, because, as I said, we finally have a massive, massive Gotham that we can explore, and for Batman to just not be there throughout the entire game is definitely going to be a bit of a letdown. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.